Hey everyone! We are diving deep into Jocelyn and Sam's shocking escape, the Anna Devane connection, and Sunny's impending war. Grab your coffee because we have a lot to unpack. I cannot believe they actually did it. I am literally shaking right now, typing this at 2:00 a.m. because my mind is just racing in a million different directions. I mean, we all knew Jocelyn Jax was trapped in the Windermere catacombs, and we all knew Cassius was losing his absolute mind playing Warden. But did anyone see that twist coming? Because I sure didn't. I have been watching General Hospital religiously since 2015, and I have seen my fair share of crazy dungeon storylines, but this is easily one of the most intense, edge-of-your-seat, scream-at-the-television sequences they have pulled off in years. Okay, wait. Let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself because I am just so hyped. Let's start with the setting. Windermere, Spoon Island. Can we just talk about how absolutely cursed this entire estate is? Why does anyone still live there? Every single time someone buys or occupies that castle, it turns into a house of horrors. The catacombs underneath Windermere have hosted more hostages than the actual Port Charles Police Department has hosted criminals. It is a joke at this point, but a terrifying one. When Jocelyn was sitting in that dark, damp, disgusting cell, you could just feel the claustrophobia. The set designers actually did a phenomenal job making it look like a forgotten tomb. So Jocelyn is down there, completely isolated with Cassius taunting her. And I'm sorry, but I am so sick of Cassius. I know some people think Ryan Peavy is doing a great job playing the villain, and sure he's menacing, but the way he has been manipulating Lulu into thinking he's Nathan West is just sickening. He tells Jocelyn she isn't going anywhere, and she just stares him down and says, "We'll see." That is Carly's daughter, right? There I cheered in my living room. She has that Spencer Corinthos fire in her blood, and she was never just going to sit there and wait for someone like Dexter Dante to come save her. But then, the reveal. Revealed Jocelyn is investigating her cell after Cassius leaves. She's looking for any structural weakness, any loose stone, and she hears something. A noise. From the adjacent room, a secret room right next to hers that hasn't been on any of the Windermere blueprints. She manages to peek through a crack or make contact. And who's on the other side? Sam freaking McCall. Am I the only one who completely lost their mind when Sam's face appeared in the shadows? Where has she been? How long has she been down there? We knew Sam was off the canvas for a bit, but to find out she was chained up in the Windermere catacombs right next to Jocelyn is mind-blowing. Seeing Sam looking so exhausted, so physically drained, but still having that fierce, undeniable spark in her eyes, it gave me absolute chills. It reminded me of the old Sam, the private investigator who used to dive into danger with Jason without a second thought. And here's where the writers actually did their homework, which, let's be honest, they sometimes forget to do. Jocelyn finds a clue in her cell, a very specific historical clue that proves Anna Devane was once held in this exact same space. Remember when Caesar Faison, Cassius' psychotic father, obsessed over Anna and kept her prisoner? The trauma of that storyline is legendary. Jocelyn pieces together the history of the room based on this clue about Anna, and she realizes something massive. If this is the old section of the catacombs from the Faison days, there is an old abandoned sewer line that leads directly out to the Windermere cliffs. I love when the show respects its own history, connecting Cassius' current crimes to Cesar Faison's past. Crimes against Anna Devane is brilliant. Storytelling. It elevates the stakes. It shows that the trauma of the past is literally repeating itself in the present. So now we have Jocelyn and Sam, two generations of Port Charles women who have survived absolute hell, working together in the pitch black. The dynamic between them was incredible. Jocelyn has the youthful energy and the desperation, but Sam has the experience. Sam is a survivor. Even though she was practically starving and looked like she hadn't slept in weeks, Sam's detective instincts immediately kicked in. They find the rusty iron bars blocking the old sewer line. And guys, the tension in the scene was unbearable. You could hear the dripping water, the heavy breathing, the creaking of the rust as they pulled. But there was a problem. Cassius is a psychopath, but he isn't stupid. He had rigged a primitive, crude alarm system to the bars. If they just yanked them out, Cassius would be down there in seconds with a gun. This is where Sam McCall shines. I know people have complained that Sam's been softened up lately, just playing mom and hanging out at the penthouse. But this is the Sam we fell in love with. Using nothing but sheer willpower and her old pie skills, Sam manages to reach through the bars and meticulously disable the alarm mechanism. Her hands were shaking. She was sweating, but she did it. It was a master class in suspense. I was literally biting my nails, screaming, "Hurry up, Sam," at the screen. They pry the rusty bars loose. They squeeze through into the disgusting, rat-infested sewer line. The claustrophobia of them crawling through that tunnel toward the cliffs, I could barely watch. And the timing perfection, because literally seconds after they slip into the darkness, we cut to Cassius walking down the hall. Cassius opens the heavy metal door to Jocelyn's cell, probably ready to deliver another one of his creepy, controlling monologues, and nothing. The room is empty. The alarm didn't make a sound. The bars are ripped out. The look of pure, unadulterated shock and rage on Cassius's face was the most satisfying thing I have seen on this show in months. He thought he was untouchable. He thought he had outsmarted everyone, Dante, the PCPD, Carly, Sonny, but he got outsmarted by a college student and an exhausted private investigator. I hope he rots. But wait, because the escape is only half the story. The aftermath is where things are about to get absolutely unhinged. Jocelyn and Sam make it out. They get back to Port Charles and the news hits the city like an atomic bomb. The fact that Windermere still has dark, unexplored corners where psychopaths can just lock women away has shaken the entire town. The PCPD looks like a bunch of incompetent fools, which, let's face it, they usually are. But the real earthquake is happening over at the Corinthos compound. Sonny Corinthos finds out. I need everyone to brace themselves because we are about to get mob boss Sonny back in full force. When Sonny heard Jocelyn, the girl he helped raise, Carly's daughter, and Sam, the mother of his nephew, a woman deeply tied to his family, describe how they were kidnapped, thrown in a dungeon, and left to rot by Cassius, Sonny's eyes went dead. You all know that look. It's the look he gets right before he orders a hit. It's the look he had when he went after the 5 families. Sonny is absolutely furious. He is livid. He is vibrating with a rage we haven't seen since Jason was presumed dead. And he isn't just blaming Cassius. Oh no, Sonny has connected the dots. He knows Jen Sidwell is pulling strings in Port Charles. He knows Sidwell's involved. The broader conspiracy, the corruption with Ross Cannon, the potential dirty cops like Joe Fitzpatrick. Sonny explicitly vows a brutal, unforgiving revenge on both Cassius and Jen Sidwell. He basically declared war right there in his living room. And I'm entirely here for it. I know some fans get tired of the mob violence, but personally, when someone touches Jocelyn or Sam, all bets are off. I want Sonny to burn Windermere to the ground. I want him to unleash Jason, if Brick can ever get him out of WSB custody, which is a whole other mess, and just wipe these guys off the map. A war is coming to Port Charles, and it is going to be a bloodbath. You can't just kidnap 2 high-profile women connected to the Corinthos Jacks and Scorpio families and expect to walk away. Speaking of the Scorpios, how are Mac and Dante going to react to this? Dante is going to lose his absolute mind when he sees what Sam has been through. He's already stressed to the max trying to cover up Rocco's shooting column. And now he finds out the woman he loves was rotting in a cell while he was arguing with Lulu. The guilt is going to eat Dante alive. And Lulu, oh my God, Lulu. She was literally just considering making a bold move to reunite with Nathan to keep him close. How is she going to justify that now Cassius is a monster? He is his father's son. If Lulu still tries to protect him after finding out he locked Sam and Jocelyn in a dungeon, she is completely lost to her delusions. This single episode has shifted the entire landscape of the show. Mistakes the alliances are shifting. Carly's going to want Cassius' head on a platter. Valentin might even get dragged into this since Windermere is Cassadine property, and he's currently busy arguing with Carly about hiding a paralyzed Jack Brennan in her attic, which, by the way, is still the most hilarious and stressful subplot happening right now. I am just so incredibly invested right now. The writers finally gave Sam something heroic to do. They let Jocelyn use her brain and her bravery instead of just complaining about her love life. They tied in rich show history with Anna Devane and Caesar Faison, and they set the stage for an epic, violent clash between Sonny Corinthos and the new big bad